10 quotes of no value. Most people love to use words or expressions in order to express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions to others. Some even go as far as quoting books or statements from their favorite celebrities in order to support the meaning behind their actions and decisions. There are two types of quotation: direct and indirect. Direct quotations employ the exact verbiage used by the author, either spoken or written, from a source outside of our own writing or speech, and is kept between a set of quotation marks. No part of the quote is changed. Direct quotations are useful if the source material has particularly striking or notable language. Indirect quotations do not use the exact language from the source. They rephrase or summarize the source's words. As such, indirect quotations do not require the use of quotation marks. There can be creativity when using indirect quotations. While referring to those sayings, most people tend to use air quotes or quotation marks. Those quotations typically served several purposes. First, to emphasize the meaning or to support the arguments of the work in which it is being quoted. Second, to provide direct information about the work being quoted, whether in order to discuss it positively or negatively. Third, to pay homage to the original work or author. Fourth, to make yourself seem well read. People also enjoy sharing quotes on the internet for a multitude of reasons. Avid posters on social media tend to share things that reflect their mindsets, attitudes, insights, or the situations and events they're currently experiencing. A person may also choose to just share posts with his friends because they inspire him or her personally or provides him or her the strength needed to overcome the adversity he or she is facing. Dear future entrepreneurs and moguls, here are 10 dumb quotes you should never listen to. Number 1. Spend on experiences, not things. Of course, experiences result in longer lasting happiness than material possessions. However, if you can barely afford to make ends meet, is it a wise decision to spend your last dollar on something fun? Wealthier individuals prefer experiences over material goods, but that's because they have the resources to pay for both. Money can't buy happiness, but it may define what happiness means to you. Spending money on experiences makes wealthier people happier, but lower income people temporarily happy and poorer. Number 2. Do what you love. If you are not in love with every part of the work, you are not in love with what you do. And that is what love what you do really means. While that sounds nice, what we shouldn't forget is that money runs the world. Therefore, if what you love doing doesn't generate you any income, you might want to step back and make a few changes to your life plan. Life is a journey of becoming, of getting closer and closer to that thing you might eventually call the dream, through a series of experiences that help you to distinguish between those things that you like and those things that you don't. Therefore, rather than do what you love, we would like to argue instead that you do what you're good at, or that you do what you are interested in right now, or that you do what you like. Number 3, don't worry about what other people think. If you're constantly worried about what other people think, you will never get to where you need to go in life. You are going to have to do things that don't always meet people's standards. You will come into situations where you have to put your pride and your reputation on the line to get what you want. If you are constantly worried about what people are thinking, you will never have the will to do what's right. However, caring about those connections inherently involves caring about what those people think. You may be willing to accept upsetting someone important to you, but you will ultimately want to reconcile or transcend a particular problem. So, caring about what they think can help you navigate and maintain valued relationships. Number 4, see the world while you're young. Sometimes growing up in the same town or living in the same place all of your life, it's hard to envision something different and step outside of that bubble. If you don't step outside of this bubble while you're young, you have less desire to venture outside of your bubble later in life. When you travel, you immerse yourself in other cultures. Most countries have a slightly different culture. By traveling somewhere new, you are able to experience different cultures and are able to appreciate and understand the different values and people. Traveling in your early years can also impact you negatively, especially if you're going overseas. Travel has a way of messing with you, and typically in your youth, you are too impressionable especially in your 20s. Therefore, you might want to wait until your 30s, 40s, or 50s, or even later, because most people are typically set in their ways by then and are more mature. Number 5, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast is often described as the most important meal of the day, providing as it does sustenance and energy, for example, calories, for whatever activities lay ahead. Many studies have linked eating breakfast to good health, including better memory and concentration, lower levels of bad LDL cholesterol, and lower chances of getting diabetes, heart disease, and being overweight. However, very recently, new studies have shown that all meals are created equal, and there is no good evidence to support the idea that eating breakfast promotes weight loss or that skipping breakfast leads to weight gain. Moreover, the researchers have also shown that you don't have to eat a good breakfast in order to set you up for the day or to stop you from getting hungry later in the afternoon. Number 6, live each day like it's your last. If you approach every day like it's your last, you will be grateful for the next day. You will know that you're lucky to be alive and have been given another chance to experience all that life has to offer. You won't take your time for granted and will only pay attention to the things that are most important to you. You will find peace within yourself as you will spend less time concerned over your past mistakes or future paths and more time enjoying right here, right now. You will be energetic as the past and future won't weight you down. While that sounds good, the other side of the spectrum is when we live our lives only focused on the current moment, our decision making tends to be short-term oriented. When we do that, we wind up taking wrong turns. Number 7, everything happens for a reason. People change so that you can learn to let go. Things go wrong so that you appreciate them when they are right. You believe lies so you eventually learn to trust no one but yourself. And sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together. However, the reason worse things happen isn't engraved into our path. Bad things do not happen for reasons we can't understand or even accept. but that doesn't mean that we are helpless. We are the ones who give meaning to what happens in our life, with or without an acceptable reason. Number 8. If you are saving, you are succeeding. Saving money is important because it helps protect you in the event of a financial emergency. Additionally, saving money can help you pay for large purchases, avoid debt, reduce your financial stress, leave a financial legacy, and provide you with a greater sense of financial freedom. However, keeping your money in a savings account can indeed result in lost money. If the interest rate does not even keep up with inflation. Now, the best way to grow your fortune is to invest your assets so that they increase in value over time. Whether you invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, options, futures, precious metals, real estate, small businesses, or a combination of all the above, the objective is to always generate cash. This can come in the form of increased value to the investment, dividend income, or the sale of the business, or some other liquidity event. Number 9. Just go with the flow. Going with the tide means moving along with the prevailing forces, accepting the prevailing trend as in rather than striking out in new directions. On one hand, being able to follow the flow allows the energy to keep moving. It allows your thoughts and intentions to stay clear even when obstacles get in the way, and helps you make choices that keep you moving towards the life you want. The flow of energy in life is very important to your happiness and health. On the other hand, always going with the flow can lead to disasters. It could be used as a defense mechanism, meaning you are trying to avoid dealing with stress, avoid feeling overwhelmed, or avoid being burned out. Moreover, it might also get you caught up in the cross currents or go over a waterfall. Number 10. The poor stay poor while the rich get richer. Currently, unemployment is at record lows, but the uninsured rate is growing. The economy is expanding, but so is poverty. This is the opposite of what conservative economists promised us. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, despite a record-long economic expansion and massive tax cuts. It's the fundamental duty of parents to teach their children about saving and managing money. People who are raised in households where parents are good with managing money tend to grow up to become financially savvy and better at making decisions than their parents. However, if they grew up in an environment where their parents had bad planning, spending, and investments and bad investment habits, they will be more likely to make non-sound decisions and fall into all financial traps. Therefore, without proper guidance, you can't expect the future generation to be better with money as soon as they've matured. In conclusion, people also enjoy sharing quotes on the internet for a multitude of reasons. Avid posters on social media tend to share things that reflect their mindsets, attitudes, insights, or the situations and events they're currently experiencing. A person may also choose to just share posts with his friends because they inspire him or her personally, or provides him or her the strength needed to overcome the adversity he or she is facing. The end. Thank you.